What up, my friends? How are you doing? It is Sunday evening. I have returned from the face-to-face event this weekend. Not today, actually. But anyways, I just noticed that Nicol Balls needs to be moved. There's like too much the lack of spatial symmetry. You know what I mean? There we go. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. That's all the effort I'm going to put into balancing things. So that works for me. Okay, let's grab the live stream link and share that in the Discord, and then we shall do our hellos and have us a Sunday night chill stream. Dun dun dun. Okay, that's good, and there we go, perfect. All right, what's up, Aang, Kentucky, Jess, Shelton, Spurl, Juglum, Zircon, Larry, Bowfalcon, Tinsman, by all means, Gianna, 10-4, Joe, Beret, Kurt, Lewis, Jeep, Jess, what's up? How you guys doing? I was demolished yesterday. That's why we didn't have a stream, man. I was totally wiped out. The reality is, I don't function that well on not that much sleep, and had to get up really early to go to the event on Saturday. And so I didn't even make it back for Sunday because I was feeling ruinous on Saturday night and couldn't stream, and decided, you know what's going to happen? If I try and go for Sunday as well, I'm going to get no sleep, I'm going to be miserable, and I might even end up getting sick. So I just went, well, sometimes I can hack it, sometimes I can't. So I was only at the event for Saturday. What up, Bob? What up, everyday? So I definitely had a good time. Larry, I saw you there. I remember. I definitely saw Larry and some other people at this event. A bunch of chill people came up and talked to me. Apparently today, Double Strike went both days. And he told me that somebody came up to him today and said that he saw us together, but he was too intimidated to come up and say hello to me. But since I wasn't there today, he came up to Double Strike and talked to him, because Double Strike is a lot more friendly looking. You know what I mean? I've always just got that. I've got a stern countenance, right? Spurl, I look tired. I'm old. What do you expect? Lasagna, what's going on? You're here on time. Nice. What's going on, Millmaster? How's life treating you, buddy? How's life treating you? Shelton, your car started leaking transmission fluid today, but you're looking at the positives, such as walking more. Well, you know what? That's good on you, buddy. The more you focus on the negative stuff, the more it'll eat at you, you know? Because the negative can be really obnoxious and weigh on your mind. You know, I got something going on that's been bothering me, and I'm just like, okay, just stop. The stuff, it's going to get resolved. The more you think about it and the more you dwell on it, the more you're just going to get frustrated by it. So just wait and see what happens, because it could have a negative outcome or it could have a positive outcome, and either scenario is going to be all right. Obviously prefer positive, but you know what I mean? Like, so good on you for not getting all bent out of shape about it, because there are people who will get super bent out of shape about little things, and I can definitely be like that. I can get fixated on something, and then ultimately I just bring my day down. It's like, you could have had a good day. You just chose not to. There's certain situations where you can't. If somebody you really care about is in a seriously bad situation, you can't really stop yourself from thinking about that. But if it's not on that level, you're kind of robbing yourself, you know? Larry, that might have been you. You can't possibly have been the one who went up to Double Strike and said you didn't want to come up and talk to me, because you talked to me when you were in the line for cards. And then you talked to me again when I started talking to you out on the floor. So that wouldn't make any sense, would it? Why would you go up and say you didn't want to talk to me when you would talk to me twice? Unless you're screwing with him. Like, what? What? Millmaster, you feel as tired as I look, but you ate good tonight. So did I. Carly made a nice stew, and I was supposed to use the bread maker and make us a loaf of bread to go with dinner, but I got caught up playing Balatro, bro. I got caught up playing Balatro, and the time got away from me. So by the time I realized it was like, oh man. So instead, I had to go to the grocery store and buy some actually surprisingly fresh buns. I do like some nice buns in my mouth. You guys know what I'm saying, right? You know, you know what I'm saying. Larry, yeah, it's always good to be home, man. It's always good to be home after your travels. By all means, stay in positive energy and attract angels, stay in negative energy and feed demons. What you feed doesn't go away. I mean, yeah, it's a very simple thing. Where you direct your energy and your thoughts is where you're going to be. And it's amazing how much you worry about in life and how much stuff can eat at you that doesn't matter later. You can think about stuff you were upset about 2 months ago that doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form now and hasn't like affected your existence, right? I come from a line of overthinkers and over worriers, and I definitely picked those habits up from my mom. So my dad is way more chill and just lets stuff be what it is, you know? So I need to be more like her, honestly. Or like him, I should say, and less like her. Juglam, did we meet up and get rock? What matching Lou tattoos? We got tattoos that said, "We hate fucking Juglam," and then we realized that having your name on us was a sin. So we just had that part tattooed like over. So it's just "We hate," and then a big fat line underneath it. And so I just say it's a tribute to Rammstein. Hey, Double Strike Dave is in the house. So if you guys didn't know, I hang out with the inventor of Double Strike Dave. And he was at the event the whole weekend, meeting people, having a good time. I heard a bunch of positive stuff about Double Strike Dave. So just so you guys know, big fan of Double Strike Dave. I've supported Dave on his entire journey, and I'm glad to see him growing more. I've been posting on his Instagram going, "Oh, it's Double Strike Dave. I'm very glad that I got to meet you at the event, Double Strike Dave." You know, and that it works well because it's double D. The alliteration makes it easier to remember. So just so you guys know, Double Strike Dave, he's doing it. He's doing it all weekend at the event. Spurl, your body's not happy with you since you've been eating out so much because you're moving. I feel you. Too much junk food, like eating too many meals at random takeout places and whatever, it weighs me down. I ain't 20 no more. I need to eat right and I need to sleep or I'm a cranky old man. Larry, after you left Niagara, the police blocked off some of the roads, so your friends had to take you on some detours to get you home. Oh, you criminals. You criminals. That's what's going on, man. They're blocking roads trying to catch you. So you had to go off-road and to escape it, huh? What up, yeah, my girl? How you doing? Just as I got a hate Lou tattoo when I got home and said I love me. They didn't give me the tattoo I thought I was going to get. Your keychain necklace is the source of Double Strike Dave. Wait, what? What keychain necklace? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Era says at least your tattoo's accurate, not just. Larry, there's probably an accident somewhere. I bet you created that accident. You know, I could tell when I met you that you had the killer instinct. I was like, this guy is a murderer and probably a thief. of souls, right? Larry is a fucking dangerous man. You want to know what, actually, you want to know what's really crazy, Larry? For real? Crazy Larry. I legitimately thought before we met, because, you know, when you can't see somebody, your brain just makes up what they're like, you know, and what they sound like and whatever else, like all of it. Mostly what they look like. Actually, it's funny that I say that. A bunch of people that I played games with on TeamSpeak and stuff, when I set up my channel, they came in and they're like, man, you do not, like, when I heard your voice, I pictured you looking different than this. It's like you're expecting somebody more beefy and rugged, weren't you? Right? I got that voice of a man champion, and I got a tired old man face. But Larry, for real, bro, I thought you were in your 50s. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Like, for real. I don't know how I got it in my head, but I was just like, one of the old dudes who comes up to me at this event this weekend is going to be Larry. I know he's going to be here. And I was like, when I saw you, I was like, well, no, you can't be Larry. You got to be in your 20s. Larry's in his 50s, bro. Well, there's something about the way you chat. For real. I just thought you were fucking 50-year-old legit. So I did like a double take. You're like, it's Larry. I'm like, that's fucking Larry? Oh. He's got a lot more life left than I thought he did. Wayne, the thing you have around your neck holding your keys made dude look like Dave. Are you sure that's where it started? Are you sure it's that the people at the event just didn't care, bro? Did you ever think about that? Because, like, let me just ask you a question. What does it say on your hat? You know? I mean, I think that you're desperately making up a reason when the reality is everybody just knows you double strike Dave, son. Thompson, what's up, man? How was my weekend? My weekend was good. The event was good. Well, certain aspects of the event were a bit wonk. Like $20 parking, son. 20 bones to park. Wayne says, probably they just lied to me to make me feel good. Did you ask? Did you ask like them why the double strike Dave stuff happened? Is that what you did, bro? Did you just go, why is this happening? Why is this happening right now? Sarah went and asked. Oh, okay. She just had to know. Why you call my dad double strike Dave, huh? Because that's his name. Larry, in your 30s. All right. Well, I would have guessed in your 20s. But who knows? Maybe I'm too old now, you know? Thompson, well, been playing Oblivion. Hell yeah, I'm going to be playing some action too. I'm going to be getting in on the Oblivion good times. I just got to finish up my Steam card foray now, where I'm getting all my games loaded up, getting all my Steam cards. I'm so close to being completed on this quest. It has taken months. It has taken months to load up all my Steam games and run them long enough to get the Steam cards. But as a result, I've built up a balance of fucking Steam money in very tiny increments of like 5 cents, 10 cents, whatever, right? It all adds up. But more importantly, when you play the game and have gotten all your cards, then you're able to get booster packs. When other people make badges and use up cards, there's a chance that you will get like booster packs of extra cards and stuff, right? So I'm going through them all and I'm pretty much done, but I'll be getting in on that Oblivion action very soon. In the meantime, I've been playing Balatro, and man, oh man, one thing finally clicked in that I didn't realize until now that made me feel silly. I'm like, yo, I didn't notice that the Jokers trigger in sequence. I didn't notice that they trigger in sequence, right? I think maybe one time I fought the boss who flips your Jokers upside down and rearranges them, but I don't know. Either way, I never clued into the fact that, wait, put the multipliers at the end of the chain. Put the multipliers at the end of the chain. I didn't even know to do that. So I did that, and now all of a sudden it's like, you have scored 1 million points. I'm like, oh yeah, baby! Like, hell, I've gotten up to like 15 million now. Cranking the multipliers, making all the cards work, picking your upgrades, building your deck, Balatro is awesome, dude. It is awesome. Millmaster taking names and taking cheeks. That's right. Shouting, you're worried you might need a new graphics card to play Oblivion. I hope my computer can play it just fine. I also need to deal with that Steam game stuff so I have enough room for the 120 gigs. The fat honk boy, 120 gigs. But yeah, back to the face-to-face event. $20 for parking at the convention center. And that's not like all-day parking. If you leave the parking lot and come back, they charge you another 20 bones, bro. So we get inside, and first thing you see is there's tons of little girls doing backflips and rolling on the floor and stuff because they were having some kind of dancer event for all these kids. But before you get to it, you can see them all now in the hallway. But right here beside them is the 420 event where all the chronics, are getting together for their 420 convention. So you have the 420 convention directly beside these little girls, and then all the way around the corner and down the hall, you have the actual Magic event. And I was just like, that's hilarious. So like, keep the Magic players the hell away from these kids. We'd rather they're exposed to all these drug users than these cardboard rectangle enthusiasts, which is hilarious. I'm sure it's just random, but that made me laugh. Oblivion holds up so good with the new graphics. Well, that's excellent. Angle, you don't get the new upgraded version of Oblivion. You get the old one with that, bro. Benjamin, do my bones hurt? I mean, it wouldn't be me if they didn't, son. Spurl, you got Elden Ring and it's ridiculously hard? Well, it's supposed to be. That game is like cheese, right? That's made by the same people who made the Dark Souls games, where they just go, oh, check it out. When you run around this corner, a skeleton kicks you off the cliff, and you have no way of knowing it, no way of detecting it. The game just cheaps you out and goes, you just have to know. You're going to have to go through it once, buddy. Boom, off the cliff you go. Eat a dick. Right? Like... Millmaster, they had a little barrier area where it's like none of the dancer girls are allowed past this barrier, and that was leading over to the 420 area. Jess, your computer will play Baldur's Gate. I got bad news for you. That's a knockoff. There's no such thing as Baldur's Gate, right? So the face-to-face event was smaller scale than the last one that we went to. So they didn't have as much space. There weren't like extra vendors or anything like that. It was just face to face with their stuff. And I mean, they had a lineup of people looking to sell cards all day. I don't know exactly what the turnout was population wise, but it definitely feels smaller than the one we were at in Toronto, which I guess makes sense. Toronto is a much bigger place, right? So I had been to one in the Falls before, and it was smaller than the one this time around. So the previous time in the Falls, it was a one-day event, and it was smaller. So this one's bigger than the last one in the Falls, but smaller than the one in Toronto. So there's that. And I got to spend a lot of time ranting and yelling about lore, chatting with different people. Double Strike Dave ran the Chaos Commander table, where if you wanted to play a game of Commander that took like 40 hours and required a bunch of extra dice rolling, he was ready to accommodate you with that. Oh, Angle, you only get short time. Okay, you're using the Game Pass where you get short-term access to it. Fair enough. Well, good for you. But then you also have to, what, own an Xbox or something like that? Oh, no, wait, you can get those online now, right? You don't even need to have an Xbox. I mean, if you're only going to play the game for a brief period of time, I've used the pass for stuff like that. But I like owning the games. I do like owning the games. Larry, you saw one of the girls doing cartwheels almost get someone in the face mid-cartwheel? Yeah, they weren't paying attention to where they're going. I was trying to weave my way through their nonsense, and one of them almost like rolled into me. I'm like, oh, really, kid? I'm just trying to get outside. I'm just trying to get the hell out of here. I just start yelling, get the fuck out of my way. And just yelling at some small girl. You little idiot. Jess, the knockoff's only $11. There you go. There you go. Engel, I gotta be real, bro. I don't want to play games on my phone anymore, really. Because even with the size of the screen being like this big, it's just too small. If I'm gonna play a game on like a mobile whatever, it's got to be at least the size of a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck now, because otherwise it's too small, man. It's too small. I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old for the tiny screens. Thompson, you've been playing Elden Ring DLC, but it's pretty hard, so you're Roxanne with Oblivion. Fair enough. I've played so much Balatro that I'm seeing cards in my dreams, bro. Psychotic, yeah. Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? Millmaster, have you ever tried to do a cartwheel while high? That's what they're saying to the kids. I can't imagine what would happen if I tried to do a cartwheel. I feel like I would just like pass out and then crumple on my neck and I'd wake up paralyzed. What happened? You've been in a coma for 8 months. You tried to do a cartwheel. I tried to do a cartwheel. Why didn't somebody fucking stop me? Spurl, I have tried Baldur's Gate 3. I've definitely played it. I have not beaten that game. It's one that I started to play, and then I got sidetracked by other things, and never ended up going back to it. There's a bunch of games that I'm like mid-playthrough. I've got like a playthrough of Skyrim going, playthrough of Vice City, my favorite Grand Theft Auto of all time, and some other games too. What up, Jay? How you doing? Larry, you played in a game of Chaos Commander with Double Strike? Nice. Nice. Benjamin, have I ever played any of the Souls games? No. No, I don't have any of the Dark Souls games. I could see it being something that I would play and get really annoyed with. But I'm also used to like old school gaming where things was really cheesy anyways. And you had no warning things were going to happen and you just had to know. Oh, yeah, that happens. So remember it for next time. But I've never played any of them. Not yet. Sheldon, Skyrim playthrough modded or unmodded? I believe modded? I can't remember, honestly. It's been a while since I went back to it. And now that I've got the option of playing Oblivion, Oblivion is the next sink into it. Get like when I'm ready for some hardcore, let's get in there, go adventure and RPG in style. That's going to be my go-to, Oblivion. So I'll get back to Skyrim at some point, probably, most likely. It feels inevitable because Skyrim is pretty epic, but everybody's been talking about Oblivion lately, and especially when I think about the Assassin's Quest, like I know I just need to find somebody and murder them where I don't get caught and I can get into the Assassin's Guild, because that was my favorite part of the original Oblivion. I used to smoke a lot, so I don't honestly remember a bunch of the game. Benjamin, you're assuming I've played Super Ghosts and Goblins? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely have. Jess, you've only played the first 2 Baldur's Gates? I've never played the first Baldur's Gate. I definitely played second. You know? Definitely played the second one. Alex, you're trying to beat all the Final Fantasy mainline games before the set comes out, but damn, they take so long to beat. Don't have as much time as you used to nowadays. Yeah, it's funny how it works. When you're a kid, I remember playing Final Fantasy games and stuff like that and being, yo, I wish these games were longer. I wish there was more to them. I wish they went on forever. And now I'm like, I'm an adult with adult responsibilities and things that eat up my time. And some games are just so long that it's just like, I've been playing this game my whole life. Will it ever end? Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I glow. You know? Certain you liked Oblivion better. A lot of people have been saying that. And I keep saying that I like Skyrim better, but I haven't played Oblivion in, what, 15 years or something like that? I don't know how long it's been. But either way, it's been forever since I played Oblivion, so I can't really do a fair comparison, you know? But yeah, trying to play all the Final Fantasies. For me, I was like, I'm going to go back and play Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 4. And I'm in the middle of the run of Final Fantasy 6. I'm currently in the Dark World. So I'm most of the way through the game, but I've been getting sidetracked by other things. Angle, you haven't played Oblivion in forever. It feels like a new game. I feel like that's how it's going to go for me too. I'm excited about it just because I know the Assassin's quests were awesome. I loved those so much. So adding in a bunch of extra stuff and like refreshing it or whatever. Well, maybe it's the exact same game with just updated graphics. I don't know. Lasagna, you like Skyrim with no mods, only exploits? I've played 99% of my Skyrim experience on the PlayStation. I had the PlayStation with its abysmal load times. I played that like, I'd say about 13 years ago. Something like that. Got right into it. Jess, your brother has over a year of his life in one character of WoW. I couldn't tell you how many hours I put into Minecraft, bro. Larry, that's how you felt when you played Pokemon Yellow? You beat all the elites, now I caught this guy, okay, now I'm done. At a certain point, you've done everything in a game. Shelton, should you play the OG or remastered Oblivion for a first time? Everybody's ranting about how good the remastered is. You may as well go with the remastered. Why not go with one that's going to look much nicer, right? Sparrow, you tried the new Assassin's Creed game. You wouldn't recommend it? I really liked Assassin's Creed at first. The first one I played, I really enjoyed it. I loved the whole climbing up to a really high point, getting an eagle eye view, and then like the leap of faith, the whoop, blade from the hand, assassinating guys, and then running and hiding and all that. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I played Assassin's Creed until I played whichever game it was where the tutorial was just buggy and garbage. And I went, if this is what the game's like, I'm just not going to play it. And so I never went past the tutorial, and I never played another Assassin's Creed game. That tends to be the way it goes for me. If it's a series that I'm really enjoying and they drop the ball hard enough, I just lose interest in it altogether. So Assassin's Creed is something I fell off on. I heard that Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the one where you're a pirate or whatever, is dope, but I never checked it out because I completely forgot Assassin's Creed games existed after that one blew it so hard, you know? What are my thoughts on Final Fantasy II? Do you mean the actual Final Fantasy II or the Final Fantasy II that was released for the Super Nintendo that's actually Final Fantasy IV? What up, JH? Valhalla? What, Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Is that like a Berserker one or something? Jess, you like how World of Warcraft keeps track of gameplay time? Everything on Steam does, bro. You can see how long you've been playing a game on Steam. Although, for me, those numbers will always be suspect because sometimes I just leave a game running on my computer for 8 hours, forget it's on, and wander off. And right now, because I've been running games for Steam cards, it's just, you've played this game for 5 hours. You want to give it a rating? I don't know anything about this game. Haven't played it. Just loaded it up to get the Steam cards. Psychotic, whatever, man. You don't need to play the original one where you can cheese by and use glitches. Play the actual game for its experience. Sheldon, what the fuck? Why didn't you just say that? You're like, should I play the original Oblivion or the new one? By the way, I already own the old one and I don't have the new one. Then play the fucking one you have. Come on, man. Benjamin, my opinions on Final Fantasy 2 are I can't remember a single thing about it. Can't remember a single character from it, a single thing that happened. I've definitely played it because I've played 5, I've played 2, and so I can't say one way or the other whether 2 is good or not because I can't remember a single thing about it, like at all. When my brain just goes doo doo doo, nothing. Nothing. What up, Pierce? How you doing? Beret, it's Vikings. All right. Most people don't want to go near Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't even think I heard of that one. What up, Crawfish? Spurl, you want to try Final Fantasy? Which one do I think is the best? Hands down for me, Final Fantasy VI is far and away the best Final Fantasy. There are a lot of fans of Final Fantasy VII as well, and I can respect 7. 7 is great, but for me it goes Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VII. Those are the top 3. So I'd recommend picking one of those. But Final Fantasy VI for me, so good. So good. Jess, you liked how I was so tired that I fucked. Yeah, I fucked that up, bro. I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't even understand. It's good that you got a laugh out of it because I was just like, what? Crawfish, how many people do I think showed up to the event? I don't know. If Double Strike Dave's in here, he can give you his guess, but I don't know, man. Because people were coming and going. Some people just showed up to sell some cards and bounce. Some people showed up to pick up cards and leave. Not everybody stayed to play in things, right? So, I don't know. I saw some people I know who literally just showed up, stood in the line, sold their cards, and then went and had tacos. Tacos! Alex, Final Fantasy X. Boo! No, don't stay away from Final Fantasy X, bro. It's only okay. I'm a blitzball player and whatever. Like, I do like unit dancing on the water, sending the spirits away. Like, it's got some good stuff to it. And it's not like I hate Final Fantasy X, but I have to boo it as a suggestion for the first one to play. No. Final Fantasy VI. There you go. Ness has got it. Lewis, Final Fantasy IX is a respectable choice, right? When they went back to their more fantasy roots, 100%. Benjamin, you think 4 is the best? It's a good choice. Certain you love 10, but you like Blitzball. Blitzball is terrible. Spurl, the votes are all over. That's because everybody's different. Everyone has different tastes. You're asking me specifically. I say Final Fantasy VI, hands down. Hands down. No other Final Fantasy beats it. It's the best. Alex, you're hyped for the Titus Commander deck? I'm hyped for the Terra Commander deck. Whoa, Double Strike Dave says 75-ish, maybe max 100. 100 was around where I was thinking. So, Joglum, your PlayStation 1 has a Final Fantasy disc cover decal on it? Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. They give you lid stickers and memory card stickers. That's neat. I like that stuff. Just chugging down that fat sushi dong. Lewis, 13, I haven't played. Final Fantasy 12 is where I lost interest in Final Fantasy games. Because Final Fantasy 12, none of the characters stood out as interesting. They felt like very generic tropes. The story didn't grab me. All the characters felt very interchangeable. I did like the Gambit system. The combat system where you could give it like a bunch of if, and, or statements and stuff like that to determine what you guys are going to do, basically, was actually pretty neat. I liked that I could eat a sandwich or roll a J while the game would handle the fight for me based on input commands I had given, right? So that part was cool. But the game just bored me, and I wandered off and forgot about it. And because I forgot about Final Fantasy 12, I never even knew when Final Fantasy 13 came out. I didn't even know. I was already out of the loop of seeing main advertising, so I had no clue. And then I just heard people call Final Fantasy 13 the endless hallway. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Did I play that one or not? I can't remember. A Sour Balls gifted a membership to Teferi. You are the member lord. Thanks for the gift of the membership, big boy. Now where? There we go. There's my marker. I'll put you up as the member lord. Yeah, Habanero, exactly, bro. Final Fantasy VI was the best. It has so much love put into it, and the story has so many twists and turns, and the characters are pretty damn deep. I like the fact that they were originally going to have the game end earlier, but then they finished faster than they thought, so they made more game. Like, it's from a different era, when it wasn't, how do we set up microtransactions to milk people for as much money as possible? Once upon a time, you used to just get, like, entire games. Like, here's your game, here's the whole game, enjoy, right? Benjamin, it sucks that Final Fantasy VIII gets so much hate. Final Fantasy VIII is just okay. Like, Final Fantasy VII felt like a divergence from the Final Fantasy formula. And Final Fantasy VIII felt like a shallow Final Fantasy VII, where we're doing another soldier storyline. But what's compelling about the story from 8? Sure, you've got, like, a pretty badass villain. But overall, like 7 had a big impact. Whoa, crazy, man. What's going on here with the world ending and everything like this? And Aerith seeing it ahead of time and all this craziness. Whoa, Cloud and Sephiroth, all that. But 8 was just like, we're doing soldier again. Okay. All right. Wasn't that the one too where you had to worry about like your soldier ranking class and stuff too? I don't remember 100%. 8 was okay. 8 was just okay. Final Fantasy VI Advance for the Game Boy Advance had added content? Really? What else did they put in? What's up, Andrew? What's going on? Sheba! Yeah, Habanero, exactly. The whole extending of the Final Fantasy VI was dope, bro. Sonya hates Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Joe, you go back and forth on whether you like Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger more. I can respect that. I like Final Fantasy VI more than Chrono Trigger, but just barely. Chrono Trigger is amazing. It blew my mind by doing something I had never seen a game do, to the point where I literally was like, are they allowed to do that? Like, when the main character dies, and I'm just like, okay, the main character died. I screwed up. I've got to go back and like reload it and whatever. And I'm like, this seems unavoidable. The main character's dead. You can't kill the main character. You can't. You can do that? You can't do that. You did that. What's going on? And then the quest to resurrect. I was like, this is amazing. 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 New spells, dungeons, and espers. Okay. All right. Chrono Cross is not better, Benjamin. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I played Chrono Cross, and I don't care if I ever play that game again. Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, there's like, they shouldn't even be connected. They shouldn't even be uttered in the same conversation. That's how little Chrono Cross was for me. I was just like, whatever, bro. Chrono Trigger, hell yeah. Yeah, Habanero, I know, right? Kefka is such a wild villain. He just delights in being a piece of garbage to an insane level. Poisoning the waters of Doma is so insane. And it's so heavily contrasted by the by the noble nature of fucking Cyan or whatever, right? Like, you're just like, what? This is crazy. And his little laugh, too. Carly started to recognize the Kefka laugh from me playing Final Fantasy. She'd just be like, there he is laughing again. He's epic. He's epic. What's the deal with the $60 secret layer and crappy bonus card? The deal with the $60 secret layer is Wizards seeing if they can get you to pay more for a foil secret layer, based off the secondary market price of pre-existing foils, which is pretty wild. What's my feelings on Secret of Mana? I loved Secret of Mana. It was very cool. Honestly, being real, it was a little bit tedious in some ways, but I enjoyed the overall flavor, the story of it. And there's a funny story where my buddy's dad, who didn't play much in the way of video games, played Secret of Mana, and he didn't know that you had to equip the new gear that you got. So he got every weapon, all the armor, everything, and he never equipped any of it. So he went through the whole game using the original equipment on all of his guys, and he fucking beat the game that way. Like, it took him forever to finally beat the end boss. But he legitimately, like, it's like he was playing the ultra hardcore challenge that people would create for themselves in the more current times, where it's like, have you done a no upgrade, like, basic gear run, buddy? Have you done a basic run? And he just did that without knowing. He found it afterwards. It's like, wait, what? he had no clue. He had no clue. Benjamin, did I finish Chrono Cross? Yeah. Yeah, but I just didn't care. It literally left nothing, no impact, other than just a general, I didn't care for it, you know? Lewis, I've never played Xenogears, no. Spurl, you don't get why the Marvel set is on paper but not on Arena, because Wizards couldn't get the rights. That's why. That's why. None of the Marvel sets will be on Arena. Larry, sounds like a Dark Souls run. Yeah, it does. Andrew, Iron Man challenge. Yeah, something like that, right? Alexandra, first time playing a Souls game, you didn't know you could lock onto characters until your friend watched you play it. It's funny when somebody explains something to you. Yo, do this. It's like, it's Final Fantasy VIII that had the draw system, right? Where you drew magic out of monsters. My desire to, like, make sure my characters are powerful and maximize things meant when I played that game and you could draw spells out of people, I would just sit there drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. I'm like, how many copies of the spells can I get out of these? And I just draw until I had full everything. And then I just lined it up with my stats. Okay, obviously health magic goes with your health. I guess fire magic goes with attack. Experiment, see where you get all the boosts, and just have big old boosts because you have tons of all the spells attached to the right attributes. And I just walked through the game just beating the piss out of everybody, right? And then I'm watching my buddy fight the Minotaur Brothers boss, and he's just getting his ass whipped. And I'm just like, these guys were easy, bro. What's the problem? Like, he's like, well, if they're easy, you beat them then. So I was like, sure, no problem. I kicked their ass. And I played the game, and I got the shit stomped out of me. And I went, what the hell? Why? And then I went and I opened up the inventory and looked, and I'm like, okay, first of all, why don't you have 100 of every spell? What the hell? Also, why do you not have them attached to the right attributes? No wonder you're losing, you idiot. There's a bunch of free power that you've just completely ignored somehow, because not everybody plays the same way. He had no idea you should just spam draw spells out of monsters in a tedious grind until you could beef up and experiment with the different stats to figure out where they go. So he had no idea. So I'm like, okay, here, do this. Go and got a bunch of spells like that, and then set them up like this. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, now I'm kicking ass. But he had no idea. It's funny. It's funny when people don't know. My favorite didn't know what was going on is my buddy playing Mario 64. You know, when you get to the top of the hill and there's the big bomb or whatever king, and you have to throw him down on the ground 3 times. Like, just throw him to the earth right here 3 times. And my buddy didn't want to read what he was saying. She was like, what do I got to do? And I'm like, you got to throw him off the side of the cliff. So you don't do that. You do not do that. You're supposed to throw him right down on the ground where you are. If you throw him off the cliff, he'll leap back up and go, hey, that's cheating. Don't do that. And my buddy refused to read what he was saying. So he kept throwing him off the side of the cliff And he'd keep jumping back going, stop doing that. And my buddy would just press the button to get through the conversation, not read it, and just kept throwing him off the cliff over and over and over. And I'm fucking dying laughing. Like, I basically got tears running out of my eyes because it's just, and I was just like, you just got to do it until you win, man. And he just kept going and kept going and kept going. It was awesome until a certain point. I was like, you just throw him on the ground, you fucking idiot. He's been telling you this over and over. Every time you throw him, he's coming back up and saying, that's not how you win. And you're just ignoring it. You're just ignoring it. What up, Ellie? What's going on, Ronan? You got banned from your LGS for trying to sell cards that turned out to be fake, and you didn't know they were. Oh, it sucks, man. That sucks. That's an unfortunate situation to be in. Being accused of being a scammer when you're not one. And you can totally end up with cards that, like, you don't know are not fucking real. You know? That's why if I have any cards that look real that aren't, I will write fake on it. Straight up. Just boom. Fake. So nobody ends up with that situation. Because I've picked up collections and I'm going through them and I'm like, this card doesn't seem real. You know, and I check it out, I'm like, this ain't real. And it's a bulk rare. Somebody proxied this. So you gotta take care with the cards you get when they come from other people. You know, it's unfortunate. Habanero, when you were a kid playing Final Fantasy X for the first time and you rage quit because you didn't understand how the skill grid system works, you never used it. Yeah. Not upgrading anything with that is going to leave you pretty weak, bro. Juggler, yeah, Monster Rancher. Did you know you can get Monster Rancher on Steam and you can basically pick any disc in the world that you want? Like, you can, if, like, Carly got it and just typed in, she's like, tell me a disc. And I started picking Weezer albums. And some of them are like, this creates ultra rare monsters that you can't create yet. You have to unlock the ability to do it. But with other discs, it's like basically you can just put in whatever disc you want in an imaginary fashion, you know? Sperl, the proxies look so real now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they do. I like my proxies looking real. I enjoy that. But I also make sure to write fake on them. So it's just like, there's no confusion for other people. Because I know what I have. But if I croak and Carly has a problem, you know, in terms of, I want to sell off his collection to get some money, then I want to make sure she's not going to be thinking they're real cards, bro. Jess, you don't like Pokemon? Yeah, I don't care about Pokemon either, bro. Pokemon ain't for me. Legend of Legai, I haven't heard of that one. Or maybe I have heard of it. Actually, I believe I have heard of it. But I've only played Secret of Mana and Secret of Evermore. I didn't like Secret of Evermore as much as I liked Secret of Mana, but it was alright. The whole dog thing. I'm trying to pop my knee here. Come on, pop. There we go. Juggling Steam also got Tokyo Extreme Racer. You want that back on PlayStation. There is, like when it comes to PlayStation, I would love to play Dark Cloud 2. I wish that Dark Cloud 2 was available. Lasagna, you have the Mana series on the Switch. Are they actually good? They're fun. They're fun. Give them a try. See if you like them. Ellie, yeah, I feel you. Pokemon cards aren't exciting to look at to me, and I was too old when it came out to really care about it, you know? If I'd been younger, maybe I'd be a Pokemon fan. I don't know. I wasn't into everything that was cool when I was a kid even. I never give a shit about Pogs, you know? Sperl, what's a yam? It's a kind of potato. It's like a sweet potato. Juggling, it's boring just driving on Japanese highways. Yeah, that does sound boring. Benjamin, Legends of Legaia is if you're into turn-based combo games. Okay. Oh, man. Just yeah. I'm not a fan of yams either, but they're just a kind of potato. Just a kind of potato. Well, that's what matters, Jylum. If you love it, fucking do it, man. Enjoy it. Life has a whole bunch of hassle in it. A whole bunch of nonsense that you don't want to have to deal with. So, when you find something that makes you genuinely happy, even if other people think it's ridiculous, just enjoy it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, it genuinely doesn't matter. Like they say, life is short. So, appreciate whatever makes you happy. Because what makes you happy now might not make you happy later. And there's certain things I like going back and doing, and other people would find them extremely boring, you know? It's funny the stuff that you'll end up liking. Like, I fucking am vibing on Balatro quite a bit, and I never thought that I would care about a poker-based game, but it's not about the poker base of it. It's all about the crazy combos and what you can do. Like, I got this amazing sequence of cards yesterday that made me so happy. I got this card that was said, anytime you play a face card, and face cards, for anybody who doesn't know, is the jack, the king, and the queen out of a regular deck of playing cards, right? So I got a card that says, half the time, 50% of the time, when you play a face card, you'll get $2. And like, that's not too shabby in this game. That's a decent amount of money, because the most expensive things to buy in the game cost like $10 at most. But you can buy a lot of things for $3, $4, $5. So $2 is a sweet deal. So now all of a sudden, whenever I play a king, queen, or a jack, there's a 50% chance I'm going to get $2. And then I got something that said, oh, actually, it upgrades from 1 in 2 chance to a 2 out of 2 chance. So now you have a 100% chance of getting 2 gold whenever you play a face card. And then I got something that said all the cards you play are face cards. So everything in your deck counts as face cards. So everything in my deck is triggering for $2 a piece every time I play them, right? And then I got something else that said re-trigger all your face cards. So now all my face cards go off double. So I play a hand of 5 cards. I get $2 for each card. They re-trigger again. I get another $2 for each card. I'm getting $20 a hand just from that. And then I got another that says all face cards get a bonus of 30. Like, not dollars, but like points towards whatever. I'm like, this is insane. It was so awesome. Wrestler, Pokemon's barely a game. There are no decisions to make while playing. Hell, even when you play the video game, you like, some guy will see you from far, far away, and just an exclamation mark pops above his head, and you just get paralyzed while he walks over to you, and then you have to fight him. It's so weird. Alex, you spent a bunch of money buying Etsy painted proxies when you could have printed them out yourself? Yeah. Yeah, that would make you feel silly if you realized it afterwards. Oh, wait a minute. You saw a funny screenshot from Balacho that made you laugh. It was a card with an insane amount of spades on it. A guy responded, "What is that monstrosity?" And another guy says, "Oh, that's the 131 of clubs." What? There must be some stuff. I haven't unlocked everything yet. So I keep finding new crazy things going on. Like, I am still pretty noobish at Balatro, right? I've played a bunch of the decks that I've unlocked. There's a few more decks to unlock. I have only played up to the green level of challenge. I've only beat red level and green level challenge on top of beating all these different, like, win with this deck, win with this deck, win with this deck. And then now up its difficulty to red chip level, to green chip level. So I just got my first green chip win today, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I got the one card that gives a crazy multiplier. I didn't realize how awesome it was. The one that was like, I didn't realize that, like, you've got your multipliers where it's like add 4 to your multiplier, or multiply by 1.5. And then when I finally sorted it out, I was like, wait a minute, this is just straight up get a 50% boost all along. This just adds 4 to my multiplier. This adds 50% to my multiplier. So I got the one card that says whenever you add a playing card to your deck, it gets a quarter, it gets a like 0.25 of a multiplier. And I ignored that card so many times because I was like, whatever. And then I finally got it and used it and was like, oh my God, this thing is stupid. It's so stupid. That and the one that gives you a multiplier based on the number of steel cards you have in your deck, they both feel so dumb. So dumb. Spurl, interaction that Magic has is what you got you hooked. Pokemon is just my turn. Okay, go, my turn again. Fair enough. Fair enough. Invader, no fun, no think, only consume, catch 'em all. I mean, if you like collecting things, right? Ellie, you've thought about trying Flesh and Blood? Flesh and Blood has an interesting premise in that you start at full power and get progressively weaker. So you'll start with all of your armor and gear or whatever, and you can get that knocked off. Your health can get battered down, and you get weaker as you go along instead of getting stronger. Zircon, you like that Joker? It is pretty wild. Invader, you know what? I didn't see the acceptance speech when Bellotro won an award, but I did see the guy painted up in the face paint and the hat. Was that the actual guy who made the game? Alex, there's guaranteed to be another Marvel set next year. They already told us that for a fact, right? I don't know, honestly, what they're going to do. Yevra, Flesh and Blood reminds you of Uno or some kind of card game like that? I mean, there's parallels between a bunch of different games where you can break them down. You can simplify by saying it's kind of like this. I don't know. Andrew, you played some Wonders today and you got stomped by the pre-made Umbrathine starter deck. The starter decks are strong. They're not like Magic starter decks. They're more like challenger decks. I was talking to the people who made the game and they said they wanted to make sure that the decks were strong enough to like enjoy yourself with, and they weren't trying to make base, like the 2-player starter kit has a more basic deck and the other ones have a lot more of the powerful rares and stuff going on in it. Juglum says, dang, you are Lord of the Board, Juglum. Thanks for the super chat. Ellie, yep, there'll be another Omen Path set coming to Arena. Absolutely. It'll probably be an Avengers tie-in. I mean, it seems likely that they'll have a Marvel set based on the Avengers stuff, right? We've already seen Secret Layers based on like Captain America and Storm and all of them. So, I mean, you've got some X-Men action, you get some Avengers action. Obviously, they wanted to lead off with Spider-Man. I don't know why. I guess probably because Spider-Man's hotter because of Into the Spider-Verse or whatever. I don't 100% know. I don't know what guides Wizards' decisions like that because I'm not hip with the kids. I'm not on top of what's hot and what's now, you know? It was the Jester voice actor sent to accept the award. I thought it wasn't the guy who made the game. My understanding is the guy who made the game just wanted to make a game, and he wasn't expecting it to have the level of success that it did. And then all kinds of people wanted its time and attention, and he's like, I don't want any of this. He's like introverted and doesn't want to deal with all that. So it's just like, can I just avoid all this, please? You know? Bob, I mean, I'm sure there's people playing euchre somewhere in the city, but I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Allie, you're going to confuse people by proxying the Omen Path versions. Invader Deadpool sold you on Spider-Man just for mutant typal. Well, there'll be more mutants coming. Alex, you want there to be an unset after seeing Deadpool? There'll never be another unset again. They'll just make whatever goofy stuff they want black bordered. Unsets are done. They are completely over. It will never happen. It will never happen again. They don't even want the Universe Beyond stuff to look any different than other Magic cards. That's why they're getting rid of the Universe Beyond border. That's why they're getting rid of the little triangle stamps down at the bottom. All of it. They just want it to be all considered legitimate Magic cards, regardless of what it is. All right. Intermission time so that I can top up my beverage. I shall return shortly, my friends. Don't be a dink! Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. Bam, I'm back. I'm back. Lasagna. You use the Amazon link. You may or may not have bought that story. That's fine, man. I don't care. Get a 60 gallon drum of lube and like a fucking Ghostbusters backpack that fires that stuff out. Hose down the city with it. I don't care. Just make sure you use my link when you're doing it, buddy. Get that hookup. People use the link enough this month that I get a bonus from Amazon. So, a big thank you to anybody who's been using the Amazon link. I genuinely appreciate it. Allie, can you get this on Spotify or Apple Music? Nope. Nope. Lasagna Spotify playlist of just Hatcher songs. That's a good idea for a little bit of extra income. I gotta get me some singing lessons and start to make more music, bro. More music. Man, when I was down at the face-to-face event and I saw the price of the boxes of Tarkir and how much it's literally $270 before tax for a box of Tarkir. They've dropped it there's only 30 boosters in the box, bro. And when you put the tax in, that makes it more than $300. it's like $10 a pack for a regular standard non-universe within set. You can get Aether Drift way cheaper, but every other set is kind of close to that price point. And it's just insane to me how pricey it's gotten, dude. It's crazy. You don't need talent to make music anymore. First album, Hurt Bones. Ness, I don't want to just use an auto tuner, man. I genuinely have wanted to learn to sing for a number of years now. What's really made me want to learn to sing is the little drummer boy and claymation animated Christmas special has a fucking slave master who sings about not wanting to work, and the song he sings to Little Drummer Boy is amazing. And so that, like, I have wanted to do my own rendition of that for years now. That's on my bucket list. Ansel, nope. There is no lubrication provided with the box of Tarkir. The price of it is just, I don't know how it's gonna be sustainable. I really don't. I just, like, the prices are never gonna come back to earth, it feels like. And I'm watching Magic with its price tag just running way ahead of me, and I'm just like, well, I mean, I'll always have my cube. I've got what I've got already and everything, but it's gotten to the point where it used to be, man, I'll get like a box, I'll get a fat pack, I'll go to the pre-release, and then it started to turn into, I'll go to the pre-release and I'll get a fat pack, and now it's turned into, I'll go to the pre-release, and at a certain point it's going to be like, I can't go to the pre-release because it's just everything. It's just, I'm going to sit there and go, I guess Arena is the only place that I can get new Magic cards now, because the other price thresholds just get too crazy. Just too crazy. Larry, it sucks that Wizards cut 6 of the booster boxes out of the box, but it means you're cracking less jank. Well, I mean, I'll get less jank in my booster box if it only has one pack. That doesn't make any sense. Lasagna, you got priced out of Magic already. It's been a year since you bought something. Wow, time is flying. That's crazy. I mean, things change. Nothing I can do about that. Corporations charge more, whatever, you know? But it just feels like Magic has been rapidly cranking stuff. Just, let's go. Crank. Sproul, you saw a box of original Amonkhet at your LGS. The price was $600. The invocations that you can get from those Masterpiece invocations or whatever have crazy price tags. I saw an Amonkhet Days at the face-to-face event, and the price was hundreds of dollars. I can't remember if it was $200 or $300, but it was right up there. The price on a bunch of the cards, it's absolutely wild. Like, Amonkhet also has, what's it called? Anointed Procession. Actually watched a chick crack one out of a pack yesterday, and she just started jumping up and down and freaking out because she got an Anointed Procession, you know? Invader, yeah, I know. Australia has crazy booster prices. I remember years ago, somebody sent me a couple booster packs from Australia, and they were like $7 a piece then, which is just crazy. Crazy. Juggle them. I mean, that's it. You just gotta choose what level you're engaging on, and just do whatever, right? At the end of the day, my cube's not going anywhere, and I do have a bunch of Commander decks to play with. It's not like I don't have Magic. It's just there's a part of me that laments how it used to be, And Wizards isn't aiming for the same market anymore. They're not aiming to make Magic something that you can get in on every set. They've turned it into choose the product that's for you. You know what I mean? It used to be 3 sets a year. So you'd have 4 months between each of them to get ready. And now it's like 7 weeks. So the product's a lot more expensive and the cycle of it is a lot sped up. So obviously, they're trying to get tourists to get in, like, hey, buy this stuff, spend a bunch of money, and hey, maybe you get into the game too, but it's all good because in 7 weeks we're on to something new. Larry, you cracked a $40 pack of Apocalypse and got Unnatural Selection. Ever since they changed the whole legendary thing, that card is mostly useless. Mostly useless. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Obviously, I've been playing Magic for a long time, and people are still enjoying it, having a good time. But I don't know. I don't know when they say Final Fantasy is the best-selling set of all time. I don't know if they're just going off purely off the dollar amount that they've made from it because they're selling it at an inflated price. So, like, what's the player base looking like when they go? Oh, it's like it's this much bigger money-wise. But is that because you've gotten people in who are, there's fewer people, but they're spending more money on these new sets and then they're leaving? Like, is the actual Magic player base growing or atrophying? The whole game is clearly shifted into Commander. There's no question about that. There's way more people playing Commander. I talked to somebody who came to the event to play old school format, something. I don't even remember which format he mentioned specifically because I was tired, but he said like maybe 6 to 8 people were there for it, at this big Magic event. But there was tons of people there to play Commander, right? And they have like they call the stuff Command Fests now too, right? There's people playing other things too, but Commander is the biggest thing now on all the levels. That's what it feels like. Ness, you do dislike the not for you tactics they use? That's just the only thing they can say based on what they're doing. They're just like, these products aren't for you. Just engage with what you want to engage with. We're making way more stuff, so deal with it. Deal with it. Alex, my cube is in a draft cube, so you'll need to look that information up online so you can figure out what the best setup is for that. Yeah, standards on life support. It had been pretty much killed off completely, and Wizards has done a little bit to reverse the course of it. So I have seen a slow uptick in people going for standard. Like, there was a long time where you couldn't find standard events firing off at all because they couldn't even get to 8 people. And now, at least, it seems like game stores are sometimes able to get at least the 8 minimum to get standard going. So it does feel like Wizards has managed to pull it back from the brink of extinction, but it's still, Commander looms over the game in such a massive way now. Just let's use our combined consciousness to shift reality to our will and make all of us win the lottery. Well, if we all won the lottery, then everyone would get like $6 because you'd have to divide it amongst all the people, right? Yep, proxies are a legitimate solution when you can't get the cards, I have wholeheartedly embraced proxies where once upon a time I only wanted the real cards, but now there's no way I can get all the real cards that I want, so proxies will do. Proxies will do. Invader Commander feels very participation award. Yeah, it does. I fundamentally don't like certain aspects of Commander. There's certain aspects I really like. The whole singleton thing, the journey of discovery, that can be fun. But the almost seemingly random way that people do things can be incredibly obnoxious. When it's just like, I'm going to attack you because you're at the highest life. And I always attack who's at the highest life. So you don't take anything else into condition at all? You just attack whoever's at the highest life? Yep. And I die. Like, you're playing a game of Magic and you have to worry about people's feelings. Like, it's such a... we're going to play volleyball. I've got to worry about your feelings, so I guess I'll just spike the ball over on my side or something so that you don't get hurt. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the whole, like, I hate it. I hate it. I don't want to sit there and go, yeah, sorry that I'm attacking you and trying to progress the game towards a win, but that's what you do with games like this. You try and kill your opponents and win. So I'm not looking to do a 2-card insta-combo win. I'm not looking to play the cheesiest stuff. I'm looking to play something reasonable, but I am going to try and beat you and win. And if it seems like you're the biggest problem at the table, that's what I'm going to focus on. Like, I'm going to base my decisions on who seems like they're in the best position and is most likely to win instead of other random factors. You know, it just feels like... It feels too much sometimes like playing against random event generators. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, can you make a fucking logical decision, please? Because what you're doing is obnoxious and stupid. And it tweaks me. But, you know, the commander mindset, it's not even one particular mindset. There's multiple different ideas of what people think commander should be. The whole, like, ultra competitive commander doesn't really call to me either. So I don't know. I don't know specifically where my best commander experience is, but I do know that there are frustrations that exist in the format for me that don't exist in any other format. Mailmaster, guys who like competition can't leave this game fast enough. And it definitely seems like it's crazy to me that we're moving into a realm of way less focus on competition, and yet, like, every card is fucking ultra value. Like, the stuff that you get now, there's just so much packed onto the cards. It's fucking value time. When this creature comes into play, draw 3 cards, flip over the top 8 cards of your deck, put any number of those into play. Each opponent loses life equal to the converted mana cost of all the creatures you put into play this way. You gain that much life. Hexproof, indestructible, haste, trample. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so much on every card. And the colors have lost their identities. Everybody can do anything. It's pretty wild. Alexandro, you stop building commander decks and you just get Universe Beyond precons because that's what got your friends into Magic. They don't build decks and just prefer the precons. Well, I wish I had more people like that kicking around because I like trying out the precons as is, and there are too many people who are just like, oh, you're playing a precon deck? Cool. And it's just like, what are you playing? I'm playing Kali, a 3rd turn win. Oh, okay. And that's what you want to play against my precon? Yeah. Oh, I guess that's what we're doing then. Boop, boop, boop. I win. Okay, cool. Thanks for the game. You want to play again? No. No, I don't. What's the point? Well, so I can win again fast. It feels good. I like it. Yeah, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? No, thanks. I'm playing a precon. No, I know. You said that. You know, I don't think you understand. When I say I'm playing a precon, that means I'm not looking to play against overpowered decks and watch you fucking Jackie. But I had fun. And if I had fun, that good feeling means, like, you had fun too. Right? Like, it's all about how I feel. So shouldn't you be happy for me that I won? Like, what is the mentality? I don't get it. I don't get it. Lasagna, I forgot the bottom text that says you win. It can't be that fast. It can't be that fast. Spurl, every time you see a new card, you have to read 4 paragraphs to know what it does. I know, but sometimes by the end of a card, I feel like my brain's checked out. And I'm like, pay attention. What did the first half of the card say? I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Can we go back to the days of questing beast where that felt like too much? Momo says, guys, I built my whole deck around this card and got a very rare version of it. And now that I drew it, I'm terrified to play it. Vader, if you have to listen to someone click-clack for 20 minutes and you don't die, they just do all this stuff, and then it's just like, okay, that was my turn, go ahead. It's like, what did you even do? Well, I'm up 3 life, and I drew 14 cards and put them all in my graveyard. To what end? Alexander, you've never had a bad experience playing with randoms? Well, lucky you. Lucky you. I've had a mixed bag of experiences. I've had a good time with some people and a terrible time with others. And most of the time, the terrible times are with the people who really, really want the win. And it's just like, okay, just have it. Like, I know that might sound absurd coming from somebody who's like, I want people to play logically and focus on, trying to win. But there's a level. There's a level where it's like, well, I want to actually have a game that lasts more than a couple of turns as well. Because I'm playing with precons and stuff. If I built some ultra-powered deck and we're both racing to do it, cool. But we're not playing the same game right now. That's the thing about Commander is Commander isn't just one game. It's like 14 different games crammed into one. And you don't know. You're just like, I am here to play hockey. And like, I'm here to play football. I'm here to fucking play wiffle dick. What is that? I don't know. I just stand over in the corner and stuff. Okay. All right. I'm just happy to be outside. Ellie, you only want to play bracket 2 and low 3 and want to have fun? Well, there you go. There you go. If target opponent receives damage, sacrifice to call their mom to pick up a loser. Go, call your mother. Call your mother. Nasty, you call CEDH Chef Boyardee Commander because each deck pretty much wins the same way. I mean, the most powerful paths are going to, by necessity, really homogenize something, right? Ellie, your school have a really strong wiffle dick team. I haven't heard you feel like there's a distinct difference between competitive and being an asshole. You want people to play competitively. You don't want people to be assholes. Yeah, I mean, ultimately it boils down to the whole, everybody has different expectations, 6 sets in a banned list seems like simpler times. Stuff's more complex now. Whatever. People are having fun with it. Magic's still around. So there are positives, but it is a wildly different beast than it used to be. And it's sometimes hard to discern where's the level of I'm just being an old crank and things aren't like they used to be versus this is objectively worse. I feel like card quality is obviously worse than it used to be. There's no question about that. The prices are bonkers, and Commander has warped Magic too much in terms of how Wizards has prioritized things and given themselves carte blanche to not worry about any kind of power creep whatsoever. Ellie, you've been enjoying the art lately? Well, there you go. That's good. Magic's still fun to play. Shelton, the deck that you sent me is technically on the same level as a precon, no game changers in it. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's something super unfair at all. It just is like, yo, I'm going to mess around with some Hydras, goof around with some Hydras. That's it. That's it. So, whatever, I'm learning that you got to be particular in who you play Commander with, because otherwise you don't really, I don't fucking care about watching somebody just jack it and go, look at, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I win. Okay. You got the win. Do you feel good about yourself? Did you get what you need out of this, bro? Because I'm good. I'm leaving the table. I wish you fun. Have a good time. I'm not fucking bitter about it. I'm not like, I hate you or whatever. I just know that I'm not going to enjoy myself playing with you. That's it. I don't care about losing. I'm fine with losing. I just want to have a good time. I mean, when you're playing Commander, you're setting out to lose because there's 4 people. So more likely that somebody else is going to win than you are. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. But the disparity in power levels causes disappointing boredom. Where it's just like, okay, you're doing a bunch of crazy stuff and I've barely done anything and we're done now. Okay. Invader, yep, that Simpsons quote from Grandpa, that it sometimes does feel relevant. I mean, I'm a fucking middle-aged dude. Hell, if I'm lucky, I might be past middle-aged depending on how long this fucking lifespan's actually going to be. But I don't know, man. I'm in my mid-40s, right? So I don't 100% know sometimes whether it's just like things aren't like they were, but who cares? How much does it matter? What actually matters? What's going on? I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore. Juggling, you like seeing the creative fun side of people's decks? Yeah. It's interesting to see what people can do. And I don't find it super interesting for somebody to quickly go bang, 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 I win. You know? Alex, you're happy in Commander as long as you get to mess around with your friend's board. If you win or lose, you're happy as long as you can mess with people. You just want to be a part of it. You want to mix it up. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Master, just try not to get hit by a bus, right, bro? Ellie, old man yells at Cloud, planet's champion. Old man yells at Cloud should just be like an alt art that has me yelling at Cloud from Final Fantasy. Old man yells at Clouds, and it's just me, and I'm yelling at like 4 versions of Cloud, 4 copies of them. A person at your LGS brought a Shoe Lane Stacks deck and said it was power level 2 because the theme of the deck was all foils. If somebody's that desperate for the win, it's just like, have it. Yeah, you win. No, I'm not playing you again. You got what you wanted. You just want the win. That's it. So have it. Cool, bro. Juggling, when the win isn't the only goal, the game becomes a ton more fun and engaging. Yeah, I don't really enjoy games of Magic where one person just steamrollers the other. It doesn't matter if it's me doing it or like if I'm doing the steamrolling or getting steamrolled. I like a good back and forth. I like enjoyable games. It's part of the reason that I play the starter decks on Arena versus playing in Standard, where all the decks are fucking horseshit and the game's over super quick when one person just reams the other one before they get a chance. Like, whoever it is. It's barely a game. I guess if you want to get your dailies done quick, great, good for you. But with the starter decks, there's a reasonable level of balance where either deck can win, and there's a slowness to it, so your game's not just decided on the second or third turn, you know? But people have different wants, so what are you going to do? I just like the game to be a game, you know? An actual game. So I'm curious to see how things are going to go for the next couple of years. See how obviously they're going to ramp up their Universe Beyond stuff as much as they can because it's making them a bunch of money. A bunch of money. There's no question in that. Ellie, you enjoyed playing the starter decks when you're playing Arena. I found the same thing when I was even playing on MTGO. I like the starter decks. There's a slower pace to it and an enforced level of balance mostly. I mean, there'll tend to be some of the decks that are a bit stronger than the other and some that are on the weekend. But overall, any deck can beat any other deck. Juggling, you like to throw a little of everything out there. It's one way to do it. Alex, that's why Dan Dan is fun. Dan Dan's all right. It's okay. Dan Dan doesn't feel like, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather play Cube. Dan Dan is kind of reductive. And it's just blue, you know? It doesn't help that it was that hipster douche that I first saw the actual format being played by. And it was like, this guy thinks he's awesome because he plays Dan Dan. And he's condescending because of it. So, the Dan Dan man did definitely cast a negative pall on it, you know? Larry, you don't like the bracket system for Commander because you can't remember what's in each category? You just got to memorize like 50 game changers and a list that'll keep going up and up and up. He's like, I know what a 5 is, but can't remember 2, 3, or 4. Well, 2 is easy. It's pre-con level. 3 is like 3 game changers or something like that. And then if you got more than that, then it's a 4, I think, is how they're doing it. Dan Dan Dave. Break Stop. Yeah, the Dan Dan Man. Dan Dan Man is another song you're looking forward to downloading on Spotify one day. We made fun of, well, I mean, I guess it was me. I made fun of that guy for like an hour solid after that event. It was so ridiculous. I'm like, I've never seen somebody tugging themselves off so hard about a variant format in my life. This guy thought like, I'm bringing the word of Dan Dan to the people. Oh shit, Juggling, man, my bad. You know what, buddy? I just realized that I put your name up on the board, but I didn't actually put the amount of the super chat. That's funny. I don't normally screw up that badly with that. Let me fix that. Took me long enough to notice too, right? Probably happened like half an hour ago. So yeah, like for real. Sometimes I really do try and figure out where is my old man, it used to be like this versus the new world. Because it's not like everything is bad, right? And I still enjoy meeting Magic players talking about it, but there's just a bunch that activates the old crank in me. Waiting for the Meatball Parade remix with the Bolus is back freak out. Juggling, you figured someone would have slapped you down off the board? Well, when there's no amount, they don't even know what to beat, bro. So I gave you like, it's like a free buff, an invulnerability buff. How do I beat an amount? I don't know. I'm flying blind here, bro. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. Who knows what's going to happen? Nobody talks about that anymore, eh? Nobody talks about the Bermuda Triangle at all anymore. I forgot it was a thing until I just mentioned it. Like, I haven't heard anybody mention the Bermuda Triangle in years. In years. Invader, it's been a jarring shift for anyone who left Magic during Standard and has returned to Commander. It is a wildly different environment now, right? It's genuinely changed in a very noticeable way. Juggle him, taking the board from himself like a beast. Like a beast. Bermuda Triangle is old news. Now it's the Mandela effect. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, there's two different things, though. The Mandela effect is like, check it out. We've got a parallel universe, which is way different than there's a place in our known world where people and things just disappear mysteriously. Oh, Shelton says, well, here's the slap. But Juggling was too fast. You went to slap him, but he already slapped himself. You were just like, and he's just like, oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. Thanks for the super chat nonetheless, though, buddy. Juggling's like, ha, Shelton, I fouled your plan. Fouled it. Look at you. Look at you with your archaic phrasing. Larry, you want to make a GOAT format where two players, one person starts with a GOAT token, whenever the other player deals combat damage, they gain control over the GOAT. So it's like a Monarch token, but it doesn't do anything. Alexandra, you've been looking for other fringe formats. I mean, build a non-draft cube. Check out my how I built my cube video. Build yourself a cube like that. They're awesome. They're always ready to go. And you can just play it with even one other person. You're good to go. You're good to go. Ellie, that really gets my goat. You have to say that every time you take damage. If you have the goat and somebody hits you, you have to go, that really gets my goat, and hand the goat token over. We're doing it, guys. We're creating a new format. Psychotic, you're right. I mean, the Bermuda Triangle does not get headlines anymore. Maybe it's because we're living in the era of like everything being filmed. So I don't know. Count, good morning from Europe. Good morning to Europe. It is late here, buddy. It is late here. Juglum for Shelton. Okay, so Juglum is now Shelton. He appreciates that you wanted to slap him in the face. So now he's slapping himself in the face and yelling your name while he's doing it. Things are getting fucking weird up in here. All right, Shelton, you're Lord of the board. He just looks you in the eyes and starts yelling your name while hitting himself in the face. Every day with the cube video link. Nice. There you go. There you go. Alex, check out that link that Everyday just dropped in the stream, bro. Larry, it's based off a Central Asian game where they use a dead goat as the ball. Sounds heavy. Sounds heavy. You know? Like, wouldn't it literally be too heavy to kick around? I guess, why am I thinking that it's got to be like soccer? I guess you could just pick it up and run down the field with it. Millmaster, you want Magic Historian All-Star Vanguard cards? All the different Vanguard cards that exist, but like with my face on the characters, like it's Squee, but he's got my face. Oh, Shelton says, thanks, Chuglum. Not like this. Never like this, but also thank you. Oh, man, that's funny. Larry, I know, right? Imagine it'd be heavy. A goat weighs a good amount. And then on top of that, like, how fresh is this dead goat? Sometimes corpses, when the gas builds up, they just, like, explode, man. Imagine that. Just a big old gas bag goat just exploding its guts all over you. Well, Master, like an all-star set of like me and then related people like Carly and Double Strike Dave and everybody else. That makes sense. I like that. I like that concept. I do have proxies based on a number of us in my cube. So that's funny. Literally, my buddy loves that he is on cards in my cube. Even the one where he's beheaded. Although he's like about the one where he's basically almost making out with a Hydra. He's about that one. They play it on horseback. So how do you get the goat off the ground if it falls? Do they have like hooks or something? Jess, your buddy's got a swollen ball bag because of infection, so you sent him great balls of fire. I'm sure he appreciated that. I'm sure he appreciated that. It's like, thanks, bro. Thanks for being a fucking dick. Oh, man. That's a wild world. I'm curious to see what's coming next. I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. And I'm glad that we get to find out as friends together. I'm glad that we hang out and chat about random shit. I'm curious to see where Magic goes. And I'm also looking forward to doing some other stuff. What that'll be, we'll wait and see. But it's going to happen. I know that. I can feel it. I can feel it swelling in my sack. Juggling, how about Commander, me versus Moxman? Well, that could happen. That could happen. Me and Moxman have hung out multiple times, and we've definitely sat down and played my cube. So, playing Commander would not be too difficult. I played Moxman on Arena, and I've played Moxman in person with my cube, and that is it for Magic. We've played other games together as well. I like Moxman. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. I liked hanging out with him. So, thanks for coming and chilling, my friends. It has been, as always, a nice time. We will get back together again soon. But for now, the Chainsaw Man comes for all of us. So it's time to fucking run. Run, he's gonna fucking get you.